Welcome everybody to the first in a series of videos that I will be recording that relate to nutrition and how that affects your results. Whether your goal is to lose weight, build muscle, burn fat, nutrition, what you eat and how much of what you eat is crucial in determining whether you're going to have results or whether you're just going to be spinning your tires. Now, before I go any further, I do want to stress that the information in this video is for those of you that are beginners or just people who do not plan on getting on stage or doing a photo shoot or doing bodybuilding competitions. One of the first obstacles that we trainers get with a new client is somebody that has been on Instagram or they've watched YouTube videos or they've listened to their local gym rat tell them that they need an insane amount of calories and a huge number of protein to get any type of results. And so realize that if you're a bodybuilder or you're planning to go on stage, your requirements, your calories, your macros are going to be a lot different than the numbers that I'm going to put out in this video right here. But for those that are beginners or those that are just wanting to take their current level and bring it up a bit, that can be very overwhelming. And I've learned that when we take beginners or we take just the average population and we throw a number at them that they're not used to, an amount of calories that they've never eaten before, and a number of protein that they've never had, it can overwhelm them to the point that they either fall off track or they don't even begin. So with this video, we want to get you guys started on a very general level, and then as you progress, we can adjust from there. So with that out of the way, let's get started. As it relates to weight loss, the number one, the golden rule is that you must be burning more calories than what you're taking in. That is what we call a calorie deficit. It's very simple. This is not some bullshit that I got off the internet. This isn't some subjective bro science. It's the laws of thermogenics. Our bodies are constantly trying to maintain an energy balance. And if you are eating more energy than what you're giving off, you are going to store that energy, and most of it's going to be in the form of fat. So we must be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. That is why it's imperative that you find some way to track your intake. Yes, I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear. That's not sexy. That's not some quick fix. If you guys are watching this video because you expected me to tell you some superfoods that you can eat and not have to monitor a calorie intake, I'm sorry to burst that bubble. But yes, we do need to track what you're taking in. So it's important that you find some type of tracking tool. Now, hey, all of us have smartphones these days. There are plenty of apps out there that make this an easy process. Some of the most popular ones are MyFitnessPal and the Carbon Diet app by Layne Norton. But what these do is they make it very easy to just type in a certain food and a list will pop up and you can pick that, select the serving size, meaning how much of it you actually ate. And then what that will do is keep a monitor for you. And so throughout the day, you can check and see how close are you to what that limit should be. And while we're talking about calorie deficits, I want to point a big thing out. Something that you will hear trainers and you will hear the fitness gurus on social media say is that you're not eating enough. They'll say you're not eating enough and that's why you're not losing weight. And that's kind of a partial truth. The truth is most of you are not eating enough during some days and you're eating way too damn much on other days. The average American diet tends to be Monday through Thursday, we graze, we snack, we don't eat that much. And so Monday through Thursday, it's true, most people are not eating enough. And so they don't have the energy to raise their metabolism or make it through all of our crazy daily activities. But then the weekends roll around, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we way overeat. We way overconsume on alcohol, bar foods, stuff like that can then put your body into a calorie surplus. So really what we want to look at is what our weekly average is. And that's where a food tracking app can help, is by tracking every day. It can give us that number, that gauge to make sure that we're hitting the amount of calories that we want, but also that we're not going over that. Because when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter how much you work out. It doesn't matter how clean of foods that you eat. If you are eating more calories than what your body needs, it will not let go and it will not burn fat. So the next question is, how do we figure out how many calories that you need? And this can be a very tricky question. The formula that I'm going to give you guys is a very generic breakdown. We're going to start with these numbers and then see how your body feels. A very easy way is to go find like an in-body scanner or a DEXA scan that will tell you what your basal metabolic rate is. I think it's best to start with what your basal metabolic rate is and use that as your calorie limit, and then we can adjust from there. But if you don't have access to that, or you just want to get going, another great formula to use is take your goal body weight, not what you currently weigh. Take the weight you want to get to and multiply that by 11. And if you don't have a goal body weight in mind, take your current weight, reduce that by about 10 pounds and multiply that number by 11. And if you're somebody that's been training for a while, you're very active, you might even want to multiply that number by 12. But we're just going to use, for the sake of demonstration, we're going to use 11. And we're going to take somebody that wants to get down to a body weight of 150 pounds. So we would take 150, multiply that times 11. And what that's going to give us is 1,650 calories. So that is our daily goal. We want to try to eat 1,650 in calories every day, but we also want to keep from going over that. And as I said, it's very easy to do that during the week when you're busy with school, you're busy with work, you're busy with kids, but it's the weekends when most people tend to go way over that. And so by tracking, we want to keep that baseline of 1,650 all throughout the week. So now that we understand our calorie intake, we need to figure out how much protein that we're going to need. For protein, I recommend that people take in 40% of their diet in the form of protein. So we'll take that 1,650, multiply that by 40%, and that's going to give us 660 calories. Now, if you notice on the back of a food label, it will list everything in grams. So we now have to convert all those protein calories to grams, which there are 4 calories and 1 gram of protein. So we'll take that 660, divide that by 4, and what that gives us is 165 grams of protein. So the numbers we have so far for somebody that's trying to get down to 150 pounds is they're going to start off eating 1,650 calories a day, 40% of that being protein, which would be 165 grams of protein. If you're just monitoring these two, we're not going over our calorie limit, we're not too far under our calorie limit, and we're hitting our protein goal for the day, this is going to take you a very long way. Because the fact is, that remaining 60% of your macros, the carbs and the fat, you can ratio that out however you like. Because as long as you're staying in your calorie deficit, it doesn't matter how much of those are carbs or how much of those are fat. In fact, I do believe that certain metabolisms will prefer more carbs over fat, or some bodies like more fat over carbs. So as long as we're staying in our calorie deficit and 40% of that's protein, the carbs and fat, it does not matter what those mix are of. And then our big thing is making sure that we're sticking to these numbers all week long. You add in a good training routine with that, where we're burning sufficient calories, we're working the muscles out, and that will take you a long way. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap this video up. If you guys have any questions with it, feel free to email me at TeamSamPT. If you are coming from YouTube, you can check out our website at TeamSamPT.com. And for anybody that's in the St. Louis area, if you would like to work out at our training studio, everybody gets a full week free. Just go to TeamSamPT.com, click on that trial button, and let's get you guys set up.